Okay, guys, here we go.
200 American troops are headed to Nigeria to help stop the killing of Christians by Islamist militants. President Trump promised to protect Christians and others under persecution and execution there last year when he designated Nigeria a country of particular concern over the attacks and mass killings and kidnappings. Earlier this week, Congressman Riley Moore was in focus.
Right now, the folks that I am talking to on the ground have described what's happening in the Middle Belt in the north of Nigeria right now in the last 10 days as a bloodbath. But it's just wanton death and murder and destruction that continues. But working with the administration, we are making steps in the right direction to address this persecution. The president is very singularly focused on addressing this.
And it is in the Faulkner Focus, and we continue our coverage. Senior foreign correspondent Jillian Turner. Jillian.
Good morning to you, Harris. President Trump is accusing Nigeria's government of complete and total failure to protect its own citizens from terrorist attacks. So now the Pentagon is deploying, as you mentioned, U.S. service members in the hopes that those troops can help Nigeria's military to help its own people. There are 200 troops, as you mentioned, who are going to be deployed to Nigeria. They are going to work hand in glove with a very small U.S. footprint already there on the ground. They are focused on the fight against Islamist terror groups, Boko Haram and ISIS. Here's the president last week, Harris.
When Christians come under attack, they know they're going to be attacked violently and viciously by President Trump. I know it's not a nice thing to say, but that's the way it is.
Nigerians have been hit by a series of deadly attacks in 2026 so far. Militants regularly raiding markets, villages, churches, schools all across the country. More than 240 people have been killed so far.
Guys, this is crazy what's going on over there in Nigeria. Just because of your belief or your faith, I don't think that's a requirement for destruction of a group of people because they have a different faith than you. But we seem to be seeing in Nigeria, and the government seems to be Nigerian government is not doing anything too much, or all the Nigerian government have the power to do to stop this crime against peaceful people. Christians are not violent in general, from what I see about Christians. What is your opinion? To be coming down below. But I think the president is definitely stepping. Since we're a Christian nation and we support the world, like every nation, Nigeria support the world. If a smaller country don't have the support they need, I think this might be a wise decision as a humanitarian scenario. And they're asking us to come in, the religious sector is asking us to come in and help them since their government is not helping them at this particular time. So I think that might be a wise decision for the U.S. to go in and support these believers, Christians, for being attacked. It's very destructive. It's very benign to the Christians. They're being targeted. It appears to be targeted because of their faith. That's not healthful. That's not good at all. And I think this is a good, righteous measure from a president to go in and support these people and bring back some form of civility to them areas, to the villages, to the tribes, to the Nigerian cities, like Niger here, Lagos, whatever cities they're destroying Christians. That should be not allowed. We've seen a pastor, actually a Nigerian pastor, Christian pastor, actually just wailing out about the attacks and the murders and the killings of their people. And we're hearing the senior correspondent speak on that. And we send these pictures that's graphic about the fires, and no one's there. I'm just glad we don't see nothing too horrendous. But yeah, they should be dealt with. What is your opinion? Again, leave a comment down. Is the president doing the right thing by stepping in and helping the Nigerian people protect and bring civility to those communities? What's your opinion? Leave a comment down below. I'd like to hear from you.
U.S. troop deployment follows, as you mentioned, the designation of Nigeria as a country of concern in October. Back then, President Trump cited the killing of 3,100 Christians known last year. as well as joint U.S.-Nigerian strikes on terror targets on Christmas Day. The U.S. envoy for religious freedom says that terror groups are actually getting a helping hand, unfortunately. Take a listen.
Nigeria is now the deadliest place on the planet to be a Christian. At the same time, the Nigerian government is seeking and receiving support from countries I previously named: China, Russia, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia. I wonder why.
It's really interesting, Harris, to look at the demographics of African nations writ large, because nearly half of the entire continent today actually identifies as Christian. This is a huge, huge demographic change from 50 years ago, 100 years ago. It was less than 9% of people in the country. This incredibly swift and transformational change, I guess, is coming with a huge cost. Harris?
Well, and for the first time, there have been studies, Pew among them, that have looked at the size and scope of Christianity around the globe. And by numbers, it is now outnumbering other religions on the planet. So what you're watching is where that's happening in particular. Jillian, thank you very much.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern.
This is a major transition. They say last year there was 31,000 or Christians killed because of the growing population. Over half of the populace of the country of Nigeria is now Christian, when there was previously 9% or something of that nature. And these are possible stats. So maybe the Muslim. Maybe the other, I don't know. I'm just guessing. What is your opinion? Do you think the other people are trying to destroy Christians and change their faith to get back to a normalcy or a balance as far as having them the ruling religious sector in Nigeria, or not? I don't know the reason for killing that many people because of their faith. But nevertheless, it's happening. So what do you think we should do? Do you think the president's doing the right thing? Do you think the international NATO and everything is seeing what's happening in the world, that's actually casting this down? You think that we should be changing these policies? Look what's happening. We're sending 200 troops. U.S. is sending 200 troops over to Nigeria, and we have a small contingent of U.S. soldiers there already. And we're sending two more hundred troops there. Very qualified troops. What is your opinion? I'd like to know. What do you think? Are we on the right path to support these people in their situation? Are we stepping over our bounds into another nation? What is your opinion? Let me know. I think this is a great thing. I think this is a very humanitarian thing. Issue. I think the conflict, or religious conflict, need to be addressed. If you're killing that many people just because of their faith, and we don't know if we don't step in. If it was 31,000 last year, or whatever the number was, it's in the thousands. What would be this year? So we gotta look at things in a perspective and see, do we need to step in to save lives? And I believe we do. My opinion, I think we should step in to save lives. What is your opinion? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I know it's the sovereign nations. The people in the sovereign nations actions come in. We're seeing that the nation is allowing this. Nigeria is allowing these people, the Christians, to be killed. They're being supported by other nations, like he said, China, Russia, and other nations. So maybe since there's no support for anybody else, maybe they need the U.S. to come in and align with them. And so maybe that's why we're going. So to detour the killings of innocent people and civilians, Nigerian civilians, that all they want to do is practice their faith. So what is your opinion? Leave a comment down below. I'd like to hear from you. It's crazy. It's really crazy what's going on in this world now.